Breaking right now, Prince Andrew has in the past hour been summoned to appear before congressmen in Washington, D.C. for questioning over his links to Jeffrey Epstein. Let me show you this letter from the Congress of the United States. This, I do point out, is a Democratic committee. And they say, in the interests of justice for the victims, this is a direct letter, by the way, to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Apologies if I've referred to him as a prince, because of course that is wrong, but it's a lifelong habit, which I'm going to have to get out of. In the interest of justice for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, we request that you cooperate with the committee's investigation by sitting for a transcribed interview with the committee. Now, this is disastrous timing for both Prince William, who we're going to talk about, has made a major address at the COP summit today in Brazil after the Earthshot Prize last night, and Prince Harry, who is desperately trying to steal the attention from his older brother, and, by the way, convince us Brits that he's just the happy-go-lucky veteran, and, you know, he didn't accuse us all of racism for voting for Brexit a couple of years ago, so we will get to all of that. But this has truly been another disastrous day for the Andrew, formerly known as Prince, with the King finally issuing the letters patent which strips him formally of his titles. Watch as the news broke this afternoon.
We begin with breaking news this afternoon. In the past half hour or so, King Charles has formally removed Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's Prince title and his HRH style by issuing what's called a letters patent. Details of that have been published by the Crown Office in the Gazette, saying the King has been pleased by letters patent under the Great Seal of the Realm, dated 3rd of November 2025, to declare that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor shall no longer be entitled to hold and enjoy the style, title or attribute of Royal Highness and the titular dignity of Prince.
But meanwhile, Prince Harry, who I think should just be Harry Mountbatten Windsor too, is on a charm offensive for those of us in the United Kingdom. But are we really going to forgive this scumbag who not only accused all of us of racism, but also accused his own family and the institution run by his late grandmother of racism? So here's the headline. Harry says he currently lives in the US, with a comment likely to spark speculation that he doesn't see America as his forever home, as he urges Brits not to forget veterans once the uniform comes off, in what LBC, the left-wing LBC, describes as a passionate Remembrance Day essay. But as the Royal News Network posted in response, says the man who abandoned his family, duty, and country, you can't make this stuff up. So let me just take you through what Prince Harry sparked speculation about plans long denied by his team that he one day plans to return to the UK by saying he currently lives in the UK. Lives in the US. He recently told a podcaster he had no plans to become a US citizen. He made the new remark not in an off-the-cuff interview, but in a written article distributed on Global Newswires about Remembrance and Veterans Day celebrations, which take place all this week. Harry has provoked suspicions he is trying to take attention off his brother Prince William by travelling to Canada to support such causes today, the same day William presented.
A new royal storm is brewing. Prince Andrew has reportedly been summoned by U.S. Congress as fresh information surfaces in the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, reopening a chapter the palace had hoped was closed for good. At the same time, Prince Harry has launched what insiders call a UK redemption mission, returning to Britain in a bid to win back public sympathy. But critics say the Duke's attempt to rebrand himself as the misunderstood royal won't work, especially after branding British voters backward racists over Brexit. While Andrew faces renewed legal scrutiny, Harry faces public rejection. Two royal crises, one about scandal, the other about credibility, both shaking the foundations of the monarchy once again. What do you think? Can Harry repair his image? And should Andrew ever return to public life? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exclusive royal updates and investigations.
Earthshot Awards in Brazil. In the article entitled The Bond, the Banter, the Bravery, What It Means to be British, Harry, who moved to the US 5 years ago, paid special tribute to the wounded Ukrainian servicemen and women he spent time with earlier this year at the Superhumans Rehab Hospital in Kiev. He said, "These people reminded me that bravery is not the absence of fear, but the triumph of purpose over it." Then he said, "There is a similar stoic spirit of self-deprecation and humour in Ukrainians that I recognise more than any other in us Brits. Though currently I may live in the United States, Britain is and always will be the country I proudly served and fought for. The banter of the mess, the clubhouse, the pub, the stands, ridiculous as it sounds, these are the things that make us British. I make no apology for it. I love it." But as Tom Sykes says, the comment is likely to provoke raised eyebrows at the palace and more vocal criticism online, where Harry is often accused of betraying Britain by attacking its monarchy and overstating his active military service. And Connor Tomlinson, I actually think that's a bit of an understatement, okay? Because what Harry has done, I think, is treacherous. I think it's treasonous. And do you remember a couple of years ago when he was totally ensconced in the US and believed that he would be there forever and that his marriage was perfect and all of that, he was constantly unable to say one positive thing about the United Kingdom. And I will never forget that Netflix documentary where he basically painted the United Kingdom as a racist hellhole because of Brexit, and also criticised the Commonwealth, which was his late grandmother's life work, as being British Empire 2.0. Remember, he dragged all of those hard leftist British haters on. So this 180 to now sort of try and win us back, it's not working for me. Is it working for you?
Well, the Commonwealth is British Empire 2.0, but not in the way that Harry thinks, given the levels of Commonwealth migration we've had in the last few years. But Dan, it's clear that this is another PR exercise because his adventurism in America hasn't got quite as well as his adventurism in Afghanistan. You might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but in Spare, wasn't he complaining that essentially his military service had basically been thankless? So even though people lauded him for being involved in the military, even though people thought that he was a sort of a lad about town for his raunchy escapades in Vegas, even though people turned out and congratulated him for his marriage to Meghan, it seems that he is, well, quite ungrateful for his station, has derelicted his duty representing one of the most historic institutions in Britain, and has thereby contributed to the degradation of people's respect for the institution. I mean, his father hasn't done great either, bending over backwards for Islam, helping the World Economic Forum, being more obsessed with vaccines and climate change than saving his own country from being demographically and culturally swamped. And then you've got, yet again, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, who persists under a dark cloud of his at least friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, if not engagement in questionable activities with Mr. Epstein. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not he complies with this request by the US congressional body to give a written interview. I think Democrats are pushing for this because they recognize that President Trump has been quite weak and mishandled the issue of Epstein. He's been flippant, trying to dismiss it, and it's probably because he's been frustrated by his team, particularly Pam Bondi's incompetent handling of the Epstein files, promising she's got this mountain of evidence on our desk that has never materialized just so she can get her Fox News clip and generate some traction. So all around, it's not looking good for the royals, and I don't think that Harry's going to be able to recover his damaged public reputation over in Britain.
And here's the letters patent. I mean, it is a bit of a historic moment, Connor, even though it was well signposted, because remember, for a long time there was this idea, well, there's going to have to be a debate in Parliament and stripping the titles just isn't possible. Well, it actually is, which I think sends a shiver down the spine of Prince Harry over there in Montecito, because I think by the end of his life, his brother will seek revenge and he will be Harry Mountbatten Windsor. I really do believe that. But let me just show you, because it is this historic moment. There's the very short update, given the significance of what the king is doing. The king has been pleased by letters patent under the Great Seal of the Realm dated 3rd of November 2025 to declare that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor shall no longer be entitled to hold and enjoy the style, title, or attribute of Royal Highness and the titular dignity of Prince. And it's gone. Something that the late Queen Elizabeth II always considered his birthright, being known as Prince Andrew, is gone. which means, in my view, there's no reason why Prince Harry should be Prince Harry, and there's no reason that Meghan Markle should be the Duchess of Sussex, to be completely honest. But first, this episode of Outspoken is brought to you by Manscaped, the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. And I'm very excited to say the heat has finally arrived overseas. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in the White Hot Special Edition colorway from Manscaped is now available across the UK, Europe, and Australia. It's the same trimmer trusted by millions of men, including me, now with a clean white and gold finish that looks just as smooth as it shaves. But this isn't just a pretty face. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is built to handle your most sensitive areas with care, helping reduce the risk of nicks, cuts, and irritation where it matters most. So whether you're cleaning things up for a day, to trip, or just to feel a little bit more put together, the White Hot trimmer makes below-the-waist grooming a whole lot smoother. Literally. Join over 12 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and use the code OUTSPOKEN for 15% off your entire order at manscaped.com. And to the ladies in the Outspoken audience, trust me, this is a fail-safe gift for your boyfriend, your husband, your son, your brother, or your hard-to-buy-for male best mate. The blades are designed to glide over the skin with less tug and pull, helping the bloke in your life avoid the usual redness or irritation that comes with lower quality trimmers. It's simple, effective, and doesn't require a whole routine. Just pick it up, clean up what you need, and move on. Whether you're using it in the shower, on the go, or standing over the sink before a night out, the White Hot 5.0 Ultra fits into your day without getting in the way. Plus, the white and gold design actually looks good. You won't be hiding it in the bottom drawer anymore. White Hot looks, smooth results. The White Hot 5.0 Ultra brings the heat without cooking your skin. It's sleek, easy to use, and way less terrifying than whatever you were using before. Use the code OUTSPOKEN for 15% off your entire order at manscaped.com. That's 15% off with the code OUTSPOKEN at manscaped.com. But now, back to the show.
Yeah, I think that logic's quite sound. The only thing I would say, Dan, is that I don't think he's going to be Harry Mountbatten-Windsor. He's probably going to be Harry Markle, given his praise for progressive feminism might cause him to adopt her surname instead.
Now, I'm not sure if you're going to be impressed, Connor, with William's speech today. So he hosted the Earthshot Prize last night, which was a huge success, very star-studded, Kylie Minogue, Shawn Mendes. But of course, you do have the Woketopians there too. You know, the Jacinda Arderns, the Sadiq Khans, the Slippery Starmers. And today, I don't know, verging into political territory at COP, where he was representing his father, by the way, because of the King's deteriorating health. Watch this.
Affecting lives across the UK and across the world, from small towns to major cities, from coastal communities to inland regions. No corner of the globe will be unaffected. These impacts pose risks to growth, security and well-being in all countries. But we know that these risks often fall hardest on those who contributed least to the crisis. This demands urgent, coordinated action. We must ask ourselves, what legacy do we wish to leave? Because the impact of all our choices will be felt by us all around the world, in the safety of their homes, the stability of their livelihoods, and the health of the natural world that sustains us all.
Now, Connor, given the terrible press that the royal family has had over the past month, William's trip, in my view, has actually been a triumph in Brazil. The imagery was incredible. You know, he was barefoot and, playing the volleyball and all of that. But this speech today, is it risky? You know, given that the whole issue of nut zero, as I call it, is now very much back on the table of British politics. What previously was just like a complete nodding through by the Uni Party is now
A new royal storm is brewing. Prince Andrew has reportedly been summoned by U.S. Congress as fresh information surfaces in the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, reopening a chapter the palace had hoped was closed for good. At the same time, Prince Harry has launched what insiders call a UK redemption mission, returning to Britain in a bid to win back public sympathy. But critics say the Duke's attempt to rebrand himself as the misunderstood royal won't work, especially after branding British voters backward racists over Brexit. While Andrew faces renewed legal scrutiny, Harry faces public rejection. Two royal crises, one about scandal, the other about credibility, both shaking the foundations of the monarchy once again. What do you think? Can Harry repair his image? And should Andrew ever return to public life? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exclusive royal updates and investigations.